Welcome back. She's not your typical 10th grader. Suppressor Crow has cerebral palsy, but she doesn't let that stop her from accomplishing her goals. She just won the state PTSA award for her artwork, Through Chloe's Eyes. Her piece moves on to nationals. Here's Erin Cowan with her story.
With many interesting things going around at Friendship High School, Suppressor Crow, a sophomore at FHS, tells us that with only being in art for a year, how she went and received 2 awards for her artwork.
I went to Austin. I received a prestigious award and a competition award.
About how long did it take you to complete your art project? 3.
A month.
What animal did you do your art project over?
A giraffe.
With a lot of work, Suppressa tells us how she was excited about winning this award.
Excited
You were excited?
and overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed? Was it a lot of work?
Yes.
For FISD Tiger Zone, I'm Erin Cowan.
Not only is Suppressa an award-winning artist, but she is also an aspiring news reporter. She is the one who interviewed this former FHS student who played in the NFL and now the Canadian Football League. Suppressa Crow was determined to bring and interview former FHS student Seth Deggy. She was excited to meet him in the main office.
You met Suppressa.
Hi. How are you? I like your jersey.
Thank you.
Both Suppressa and Seth have one common message. Don't let anything stop you from achieving your goals. For Suppressa, it was sitting right here. For Seth, it was his athletic goals.
It was a dream come true. That's something I dreamed of as a little kid. My dad took me to a couple games, when I was around 8 or 9 years old, and from then on I was hooked, and that was my goal. My number one goal for myself was to play football at Texas Tech, and so I continued to work hard and did everything I could to put myself in a position to have that opportunity, and unfortunately they offered me a scholarship, and the rest is history, but it's definitely a dream come true.
Seth was starting quarterback for Texas Tech from 2011 through the 2012 season. He became the second leading QB to pass for more than 4,000 yards in consecutive seasons. Deggy just left the NFL and is starting his new football career in the Canadian Football League. Suppressa asked him what words of advice does he have for current Friendship students.
I would tell the high school Seth that to relax a little bit and enjoy the moments that you have with your best friends. I think in high school, sometimes with the injuries that I had, that I was kind of wound up and didn't know what my future held. So if I could go back and talk to that guy again, I would tell him to relax a little bit and enjoy the moment, because everything's gonna be fine, and to keep working hard, and everything, all your dreams will come true if you continue to work hard.
And at the end of this interview, Seth signed Suppressa's Tech jersey and Tech football and took pictures with her. He says it was the best day of her life to be able to interview a famous former Friendship student. For FISD Tiger Zone, I'm Mariah Delgado.
FHS's animation class is learning how to take hundreds of snapshots to tell a story. Here's Josh Bacon with more.
Miss Flushy's animation class at Friendship High School has just finished an interesting and potentially theatrical project. Stop motion animation. But what is stop motion?
We took a bunch of pictures and animated them together to make a movie.
Basically, we created a movie with a bunch of pictures.
A stop motion video is taking things like Legos and positioning them, taking a picture, moving them, taking a picture, moving them, taking a picture, moving it, and then putting it all together to make it look like a smooth video.
Not only did students learn about stop motion, but also gained experience in ways everybody needs in life.
The number one thing is working with other people in a group. So they're working the dynamics of a group. Can they get along with other people? Who comes in and becomes in charge?
I asked Miss Flushy what ways she was proud of her students and their creations.
How well they were getting along and the stories they came up with. And then after they put it all together, what it looks like from the very first day when they told me this was their idea. And then it coming through. But I'm really impressed about how everybody worked together and how everybody stayed on task.
Students learn and have fun while creating something all their own. I'm Josh Bacon for FISD Tiger Zone.
You know, it's not every day that you hear about students torturing their principal.
But that's exactly what happened at Friendship Middle School. Case Blackwell tells us why this treatment was welcomed.
In April, FMS Principal Jerry Jarabek had to keep his mouth shut for one whole day, and it was for a good cause. He could only communicate using the iPad hanging around his neck.
The deal was no talking. I'm not talking.
This is happening because our students here at FMS raised over $1,000 for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Mr. Jarabek is not allowed to talk because we raised over $1,000, and our girls' coaches had to dress up like Disney princesses, and our guys' coaches had to get mohawks. So I'm really proud of all the students here at FMS, and I thank you.
Get back to work, you slacker.
The money raised stays here locally.
Thank you for supporting Make-A-Wish.
We're all used to cats and dogs as our at-home pets, but at Northridge, their pets are out of the ordinary. Greg Sandercock shows us what animals make up the zoo crew.
This one's about 2 weeks old.
Northridge Zoo Crew Director Debbie Zack is showing us a baby diamond dove. This is one of 120 unfamiliar animals living at Northridge Elementary School.
All the animals are holdable except fish and things like that that would live in water. But teachers use them in different ways. Sometimes holding animals is a reward for finishing work. Sometimes it is part of a lesson. This is Farley. Farley is actually a European polecat. This is George, and George is a red-tailed boa constrictor. This is Snuffy, and Snuffy is a chinchilla. I think the kids really enjoy it. I know that right now we're talking about mimicry, different adaptations, camouflage, and using the animals in there. And after our work is done about the animals, then they get 10 minutes to hold them at the end, and that is a real treat. They really enjoy it.
For FISD Tiger Zone,
snakes use their tongue to smell, and so that's what he's doing.
I'm Greg Sandercox.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid is a very popular book among young children, with 75 million copies in 41 different languages. There are 8 books in the series, and on April 28th, the 9th book will be released live online.
Northridge students are guessing what the cover of that new book might look like. Here's Mallory Barnett with the story.
Reading sparks the greatest imagination in children, and students at Northridge Elementary School are getting to use that imagination in a national contest.
I coordinated the event. I was made aware that April was Wimpy Kid Month, and what's going to happen at the end of April is there's going to be a live reveal of the new book number 9, and we don't know the name or what the front cover is going to look like, so that's why we're doing this at the end of April, to have that live reveal and a contest for the kids.
This opportunity allows the kids to tap into their creative imagination and possibly predict the next Diary of a Wimpy Kid cover.
We've offered the event for 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders to have an opportunity to draw what their prediction is of book number 9, and they have been given just a blank sheet of paper, and we were wanting to get their input as to what they feel like book number 9 is going to look like and what the name of the book is going to be, and then just a drawing and their rendition of what book number 9 is going to be about.
There has been an overwhelming response to the contest, Turner says, and she is confident it motivates the kids to read the series.
A lot of students just love these books. They'll read them in just a couple of hours and want to come get the next book, and so I think they were really anxious to do a contest to reveal what their perspective is on what the new book is going to be about. But it's been a great response, a lot of fun.
When the contest comes to a close, the results could be very rewarding.
Another part of the contest is that whenever we get all of the entries submitted on Wednesday, we're going to take our top 6 entries and scan and email those into the Wimpy Kid Company. A few of those could possibly be featured on the live reveal on April 28th, and so we may get a shot at a national spotlight for friendship.
Here are some students that entered to show us their covers and explain why they like the Diary of the Wimpy Kid series.
It's really because in every different book he makes them about like how his life is different in different times. Like with the last book, he was in school, and his friend had a girlfriend, and he didn't have his friend because he was always with her, so he was kind of jealous. So yeah, I wanted to make something random and make sure it's unique.
I drew the cover because of End of Hard Luck. Greg found the ring of his great Mimas. I like the series because I couldn't find anything to read after the first book came out.
Well, in each book, he gets older and older, and so this year, or this book, he'll be around 13 or 14, and so he's going to start half babysitting. I just think it's a really enjoyable series, and it's entertaining. Like, you never know what's going to happen next.
In the last book, they were talking about the season was Easter, so I thought after that 4th of July would come, and that's why. They're very entertaining, and I really didn't have any other books to read, so I read those.
For FISD Tiger Zone, I'm Mallory Barnett.
Oak Ridge kindergartners are learning the difference between living and non-living things. And to bring the subject home, those students brought living things to the classroom to show their friends. Living things the students showed were dogs, plants, and even grandparents. This was all part of their kindergarten science lesson.
Well, that's all we have time for on this edition of FISD Tiger Zone.
We hope you enjoyed the stories we brought you so far this year.
Until next time, have a great day.
Bye.